Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. Welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna. It is great to see you this Monday morning. I was very sorry, and so was Rebecca, to have missed you on Friday. We'll come to that in just a minute. What a time. What busy times these are. Summers are supposed to be for relaxing, not so much. How's it going this morning? You having a good morning? I'm so out of sync with the days right now because it was a busy weekend and I was traveling over the weekend and we'll catch up on everything together. I feel like it is Thursday or Friday and everything is a bit topsy turvy. So it is good to touch base, to be together again. I just literally got hopped out of the shower, twisted up my hair. I thought, let's do this. Let's do this. I was trying to get orders out, bunch of stuff. I have a bunch of stuff for you. But I just want to let you know before I say my good mornings and all that, uh, while I was away over the weekend, ATHA magazine came. And ATHA, you are looking fantastic. I am loving the way this magazine is looking. It seems to be having a new sort of iteration. You know how from time to time the design of the cover changes the format, and it just looks different. And when you look through all your old ATHAs, um, you can tell what sort of era of the magazine it is that you're holding because of the style of the cover. Well, I think we're into a new sort of iteration, and it is just beautiful. It's a beautiful cover. I haven't even gotten through half of the magazine yet, but I realized we'll read at the beginning. We'll read it together in just a minute. This one is heavily themed in the best possible way. But I was really impressed with finding this. I came back last night and I found this on the hall table and I was like, whoa, that is really a piece of storytelling on the cover. So we'll come to that in just a minute. I want to say good morning to you first and see how you all are doing. And let me explain. Wait a minute. Okay, good. On Friday, we were supposed to run a show, our Friday night show, and it was supposed to be with Rebecca. So once we decided to run a show together, um, that was my plan, and I was all geared up for that content wise. And if you remember back, by way of explanation, there was a computer problem that was apparently worldwide on Friday, and it heavily affected airports and flights. So Rebecca did not get in when she thought she would get in. She was supposed to get in the middle of the day, so we had time to prep and sit and set up the camera and what we're going to talk about and lay out her rugs and all of that. So we were not able to do that. But gosh, I just had an idea. Let's hold on that. I'll revisit that on my own later, figure things out. But I ended up having to go pick her up at the airport right in the middle of the time that we would have been running cocktail time. And I was very happy to do it because the next flight I would have had to go pick her up at like 12:30. So that would have been absolutely doable, but less good, you know. So I was very happy to have her in, but we were already were already an hour and 15 minutes late at that point, and she was just fraught with stress from traveling and running to catch planes that they'd already canceled on her behalf, thinking she wouldn't make it, and she would make it, and making connections in situations like that is really hard. So it was really, really difficult. We went on Saturday, and I'll tell you more about this. We have a project that we're working on that I cannot talk about until October. But when I can, it'll be a great thing for all of us to talk about. So we were actually doing some work over the weekend, and we had some visiting to do and some checking stuff, and it was all work related, but it will be a to be revealed in October kind of a thing. But we were very, very work busy this weekend. And we were in Rhode Island for all of the day on Saturday. And then on Sunday, yesterday, I dropped her off in Sturbridge for her Pearl McGowan, her yearly thing, right? And I have to brag and say that she is putting up the show, the rug show, this week on her own. I think it's only one day that the rug show is running. She's promised to give us more information on that and possibly record a video that I can post on our page to give us the details about the show. But she is putting up the show this year, and I'm very proud of her. She's not the helper, she's the person who's doing it. I'm super proud of her. I love her so much. So lots to talk about. Mostly future stuff to talk about, regarding Rebecca and I. But I'll show you some pictures of some neat things that we found when we were in Newport this weekend, and a couple other catch-up things really quick because I'm just really fraught right now myself with busyness. So the Halloween book, The Haunted Rug, is coming together in the most spectacular way. And I'm seeing a lot of people send in photos of pieces that they finished. A few people sent in physical photos with physical rugs, which you don't have to do. But I have got to tonight. It can't be today because I'm already full up. Tonight I have got to sit down, finish the cover design because I changed covers, um, and put together a sort of advertising piece, a propaganda piece with the four vendors, five including me. October 20th, the Red Lion Inn, Stockbridge, Massachusetts, the Berkshires, book party, many hour hook in, and five vendors. That's a lot for a small group. It is going to be such a fun time. And I'm planning other not planning, but I'm promoting other attractions with group rates and things like that around there. I know I'll be cruising around doing some other stuff, and maybe you want to too. But being there, if you're able to be there, is so important to me because there are some buddies who are close to me and close to the brand, who I haven't even met yet, coming from Canada and Texas and all over the place. So yeah, it's about to be advertised. The event is about to be advertised in guilds around New England and the tri-state area. So that I think, I'm not sure how many tickets are left. It's lots. There's tons of tickets because I haven't advertised it yet, other than here and in our group. I haven't advertised it in the bigger world, but I'm about to. So if you're able to come at all, please come. The ticket includes the tea sandwiches, which is a super nice lunch. I am putting together some swag stuff. I did not fluff out money wise the tickets. I did not. I'm not thinking of this as a profit enterprise. I'm thinking about this as a fun way to celebrate my all-time pet project, which was to make a Halloween book. This is always what I've wanted to do. It's happening. I want to be together. I want to have a party. I want to hook in, and I want to fool around. Um, so I did not fluff anything out. So it's not like I'm putting out baskets for everybody or pajamas for everybody. I'm putting together some cute swag stuff that I think is fun, but I didn't do any kind of markup to the tickets. And the book is being sold separately, in case you don't want to receive the book at the thing and you want to have it shipped or you want to have multiple shipped, created every possible scenario. So that's coming up, and I'll be doing that this evening. I'm starting to give it out to different guilds to promote it because it's coming up, at the middle end of September, which is fairly soon. So let me see everybody who's here and say good morning. I know I have a bunch of other things I need to catch up with you on. Oh, there's still time. If you want to do a project for the book, let me know. I have about 4 left, and they really are, the ones at the end are my favorite because they're ones that I was holding for myself, and I realize I can't get to all of it and get orders out and keep going, keep things happening with the kids for the summer. So I'm giving up at the very end the ones that were intended for me. So it's not like there's leftovers or scraps at the end. They are fantastic, in my opinion, fantastic designs. They're just ones that I wanted to do, and I've come to peace with. I've got maybe 8, and that's all I can do. So let me know at ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com if you're interested in hooking a pattern, and I will send it to you. I am out of linen at this moment, but Dora will send me some right away. I'm sure I've got to put an order in with them. I didn't realize, but I have monk's cloth and rug warp, and or burlap, and I can get stuff out to you right away, like today, if you want one of the patterns. So send me a message and let me know, because you have until I'm going to say as a placeholder, between the 20th and the end of September to send me a photo of the thing. You don't have to send the thing, but a few people have been sending their rugs in, and they are beyond my expectation. I'm not just saying that. I'm going to tell you my theory about why I think they are. I'm so want to show you some. Let's hold for a little while until we get a little more traction. But I am definitely going to put up at the Haunted Rug event, I'm going to put up one of those display boards, and if you are coming and you have one, let me know, because it's hard to figure out. God, my heart hurts lately. I hope I'm not having a heart attack. Maybe I'm just tired or something. I'm going to put up a display board because I really want to T-pin, right? I'm not going to damage your stuff. I'm not going to sew on pockets. I'm going to T-pin pieces that people send me or bring yourself. And if you're coming to the event and bringing a finished rug, let me know, because I want to account for that space-wise. But during the event, for that one day, October 20th, I want to have a display up of, I'll put up the ones that I made, and I want to put up the ones that other people made that are there physically as a small display. I have a lead on another exhibit to do with these rugs, like a week later, but let's hold on that until I have more information. And I have to be sure it makes sense because it was a super expensive project for me to do the exhibit. I still have to send back a couple pieces. Incredibly, with Pierre last year, because I had to send everything back, that became really expensive for me, right? Because I'm a small brand. So I'm going to hold on that, but there are lots of possibilities, lots of things flying through the air, and you can still jump in with this project. I still have some great patterns for you. Um, Dang it, what was the other thing? Let's just say hello. It'll come to me. April, great to see you. Good morning. My theory, hold on one second. April, hold on. I think one of the reasons that the images that I'm seeing for the haunted rug, finished images and um, in process images of patterns that people are hooking, I think the reason I am so surprised, two things. I feel like when you work on a project like this book project and like the one that's coming after it, we're going to do the rose book after it, all roses. That'll be great for spring, right? So we'll be working on it through the winter, and then that'll come out in the spring. So that'll be a lot of fun too. But when we work on these projects together, whether it's Magpie magazine or whether it's a book project, and you're hooking ribbon candy hooking patterns or other people's patterns that will be in the book, um, you're often working outside of your comfort zone. And in many cases, it's a situation where someone has said, yes, I'll do one. It's not what I would normally pick. It's not really my style, but I'm all about challenges, so I'm going to give it a shot. In those cases, I think people are way more likely to try hooking in a different style, for example, more graphic, alternately more realistic, and try different techniques, try mixed media, experiment with different palettes that you normally don't experiment with because it's such a novelty piece. You know what I mean? So I think for that reason, I'm seeing pieces and I'm going, this is yours? Like, I'm so pleased because it's like showing so many of these pieces that I'm seeing so far are showing a side of, I mean, I know everybody who's putting the stuff into the book, right? Whether we're like close friends or you just met me and we've talked back and forth. I know who you are. I've got a feel for what you like to do. I've looked you up. I love your stuff. I'm thrilled and grateful that you're in. And I know a little bit about you at least. So it's funny to see people working in styles that are quite unusual, I think. I'm very happy because I feel like everybody's stretching a little bit with projects like this. I'm very, very happy. Very happy. April, great to see you. Sorry. Good morning in sunny Illinois. I'm so happy you're there. Kirsten, you are there. Pool another day. Great to see you. Happy Monday from lovely Vermont. Karen, great to see you too. There's the two partners right there. Good morning from hazy Black Forest, Colorado. We finally got some good moisture this weekend. Oh, I'm glad. It's good to catch up with all that so you're not in a drought situation, right? Linda B, great to see you. You reminded me about putting up a post yesterday and I immediately forgot. I got in the car and had to drive again. Got stuck in a traffic jam after I dropped Rebecca off, of course. Of course, because it's a Sunday in the summer. What was I thinking? Ryan, great to see you, my love. I haven't seen you for a while. Happy, happy Monday in North Texas. It is in the 70s. Wow, that sounds nice. Le Gasp. Nice reprieve from the 90s and hundreds. We've been having, I bet it's been scorching. Peace and love to you too. Oh, so glad you're comfortable out there. And Lena, great to see you. Oh, I wasn't there on Friday night. Wasn't there. I'd love to plan something else with her. It might have to be remote. Because, yeah, no, you didn't miss it. We weren't able to do it because of the flights and her not coming in on time. So it was completely out of our hands. It was so unlikely that that would happen. Because when I woke up that morning, I thought, she is so lucky that she's flying on a day, the first day in a long time that isn't dangerously hot and uncomfortable. And then I turned everything on and I saw the news that there was this computer thing and the flights weren't moving at all. Everything was grounded. And I thought, oh, she's not lucky at all, is she? This is like such an unlikely scenario. Super unlucky. But I will catch up with her. And of course, I will be traveling with her to Tigger at the end of September as well. So I've always got a lot of stuff on the cards with Rebecca. She'll be back and we'll do something together for sure. I'm just going to see if I can catch her for this exhibit. You know, that would be a good catch. I'm wondering if I can shoot up there tomorrow when I think of it, or the day of the exhibit and interview her there. You know, let me ask her about that. Let me see if that's possible. That could be a fun way to get an episode in with her and catch up a little bit. Let's see if I can do that. Judy, great to see you. Good morning from Pennsylvania. Happy Monday. And Ida, great. Oh, Ida, great to see you. Ida and D. That's how I remember. Good to see you. Oh, thank you so much. I'm still soaking wet, but it feels great. That it's really cooled off around here, but it's still that heavy heat. It's hard to get rid of that heavy heat. I guess it's here for a while. Great to see you. Carol, great to see you. Good morning in Northford. Great to see you. Spins a good yarn. Good morning from Northwest Pennsylvania. So happy you're there. Happy Monday. Dave, hello, happy Monday. Sunny and warm in Toronto, coffee in hand, working on a rug. Dave, I sent you a message on Facebook. I was looking for advice. I'm looking for advice from friends from Canada because I did not realize how difficult it was when I go to Tigger in the end of September. At the end of September, it's very difficult to figure out transportation. Can anybody help me with tips? If not, here later, or send me a message at ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com. I'm having a problem where I need to book the flight, but I can't figure out if I fly into Buffalo, it's a problem because you can't take an Uber across the border. But and it's so close. But if I fly into Buffalo, I don't want to rent a car and all that stuff. It's already super expensive and I'm missing tons of work. So, and I don't want to take my car because I didn't realize that it's like at least 8 or 9 hours each way for me. I was going to do that and I thought, no, I can't. I just can't. I'll kill the car and then it'll be super expensive. So I'm struggling with flying into Buffalo and then being stranded, needing to get to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls, or flying into Toronto and being further away. I'm not sure that the transportation looks like it's any better in Toronto. If anybody has any information about that, it's really hard to figure out on the computer because it's like you want to take a train to from Buffalo to travel time 11 hours 46 minutes. It's like, oh hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm totally not doing that. I'm trying to it has to be easy, and I can't do the card that's like $250 each way. I mean, I can, but I don't really want to. You know what I mean? So, if anybody has any good information about getting out to Niagara Falls, please let me know. I'm looking for a great solution because it's keying me up big time, struggling with how to get to that event. And I hope I see you there, by the way. If you're going to, maybe you figured it out. Maybe there's room in your car and I can squeeze in like a jerk. I'm looking for any scenario at this point. Kaz, great to see you. Good morning in Wisconsin. Great to see you. It says, anxiously waiting more info to share on social media. Excellent. Okay, great. I will definitely have it. Tonight, I hope to have it. I have to just hook the last Oh, I wish I had the rug right here to show you. Dang it. All right, I'll show you next time. I decided not to do the rug that I was showing for the advertisements, which I still love. I did a rug instead with a woman. Maybe you saw it on, let me see if I can show you on the monitor. Maybe you saw it on our Facebook group if you're on Facebook. It's called um, um, the spider rug. And it's this female character, and I hooked this crazy metallic material into her hair, and she's leaned over with her hook hooking an orange quilt, an orange rug with black spiders on it. I really love it. And I think it works better because it's a little simpler than the original design. Both designs will be in the book. There's going to be almost 100, if not over 100 free patterns in the book. Like, that's incredible. And I think I've decided to not put it on a spiral, only because I'm afraid of the wear and tear. Let me see if you can see that at all. Probably not, because it's my stupid phone. Yeah, probably not. Sometimes it comes into focus after a minute, but dang thing, doesn't want to come into focus. Well, she looks something like that. And you can see I have, the background is hooked, but I have two spiders on the rug that I need to hook, and their legs. And you probably can't see her close up either, but all of that purple stuff in her hair is like this it's bathing suit material. That's what it is. It's like bathing suit or bodysuit material from Joann's. That you would use to do like a leotard for gymnastics or something. And it's like holographic, purpley pink and like kind of a black or gray, like a gunmetal color. It's very, very exciting to hook and very easy to hook. So as soon as I have that done, two spiders more, I can put together the brochure. And God, the other four vendors, Colleen Tiefenthal, Melissa Gauthier, um, Kirsten, of course, and Colleen, Haley from Loop by Loop have sent beautiful like advertising stills to show the kind of work they have and the kind of wares that they will bring to the event for vending. That is a big vendor event for around here, I have to tell you. And for a fairly small group of people, it is like a feeding frenzy, like chum in the water event. Sorry, where it's a lot of vendors, it's a lot of good stuff, and it's right at the beginning of that cold season as we head into truly the autumn, and people are looking for projects and heavy things to have over your lap and work on for the next like 6 months. So it's a perfect time of year to have those great vendors with us, and I will share that hopefully tonight. Heather, great to see you. I'll see you later right after the show. And Ryan said I started working on the piece for the haunted rug. So exciting. I can't wait. Halloween in July. That's it. Amen to that. Gayla, great to see you. Happy Monday. Deborah, happy Monday. Oh, thank you so much. Am I saving your sanity in these crazy times? It's a very, I never talk about politics, but it has been a very dynamic time. Lots of ups and downs depending on how you feel. I've been posting a lot of stuff that people either like or don't like that is not political. It's anti-political on Facebook because my personal feeling is like I log on to Facebook not to see graphic photos, violent photos, and insane unhinged memes. I log on to Facebook to check out my friends, make sure that they are good, figure out where they are, what they're working on, what their day was like. That's why I log on to social media. And it's just a lot. Like, it's a lot, isn't it? If you log on to Facebook and you love it and you're looking for your friends and you can't find them under the avalanche of media. And it is, no matter how you feel, it's a lot. So yeah, I was a bit vocal about that, and I got blasted a little bit on my personal page. I always love to get blasted by people I don't know on my personal page, you know, who I'm friends with. But what we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that alone. Yeah, it's a crazy time, and yes, it is good to find sanity where you can, as often as you can, and it's good to store some sanity, like squirrels storing nuts, because you never know when you're going to lose it again. When things, whether it's in the larger world or whatever, you never know when you're going to skid on a banana peel and need more sanity. So sanity is a good thing to metaphorically jar, right? Particularly going into winter and that dark season again. But we are square in summer right now. Sharon says, good morning. Pre-ordered the Haunted Rug book. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. Barbara, good morning. Erin's done. Ready to see the latest, man. It's a good version, and I'm only partway through. Dave, thank you so much. Yeah, let me know what you think is smart. Heidi, Huda, Ava, good to see you in Belgium. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. So far, so good here. Just busy as a dog with fleas over here. As I scratch, right? Maybe I do have fleas. Barbara, does the Tigger site have helpful travel info? Not. They have a lot of info, but I'm not able to find the answers to my problems on there. So not lots of choices, but none so far. None of them make sense for me. I'm still thinking about driving or renting a car to go. It's just like it's another $1,000. It's just coming out of summer, not really what I want to do, you know. And my event is coming up, so I'm trying to pump my money into the haunted rug event because I want it to be like the most fun thing ever, you know. So. To be continued. And April, what I can see, she is absolutely adorable. Thank you so much. She really is adorable. She is. And she's a little bit simpler, and I've left the sides blank. In the pattern, there's a creepy photo on one side and a creepy looking plant on the other, but I'm not hooking those elements of the design, so there's room for the text. We'll see what happens. So ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com, if you want to jump on board with that project. You still have at least, what is it, July? At least 2 months to work on something, and I can send stuff out small too, you know. So let's look at this right now. This issue of ATHA is absolutely gorgeous. Let's find out first whose work this is on the cover, and then we will hit the larger theme. Let me see. I'm trying to remember from issue to issue. So I get distracted looking at, let's look at this in a second, this page about shout outs. I just love ATHA. And you know, I know that, oh yeah, Grace Collette, I recognize that piece. I just know that a lot of people are still in areas where you know that there is an ATHA guild in your state, but you are still hours and hours away. This is one of my winter projects. Is I really want to try to work with ATHA to figure out where the holes are on our North American map, and then we'll go further. I want to figure out where the holes are because April, was it you that wrote and said you went to your country fair thing, and there wasn't anyone else who entered rug hooking, and there weren't other rug hookers to meet after a long journey to go on the off chance that you, yes, it was you. So this is happening a lot. It's not, and I know there's something on our Facebook page, and I know not everyone's on Facebook, but I know that there are these huge blackout Bermuda Triangle places on the North American map, Canada and the US, where people would love to find buddies to hook with, to do day trips with, to, you know, to spend time with, to share expertise. So far the group, they're falling. It's like playing the game Battleship. Remember, it's a miss. Like you're not near anything. So that's one of my winter projects, is to think about. I'm going to try to work with ATHA because they're already there, like a grid, right, over the entire North American continent. I want to try to work together with them and figure out where those holes are, so that we can populate them, right? Because there are people there who would like to hook. It's just a question of communication and putting the whole thing together. I'm not good at that, but I'm definitely good at delegating. So I am going to figure all that out. Does anybody know in ATHA magazine where they give the information that is on the cover page? It might be that it's in the body. Let me flip really quickly. It might be that it's in the body of the magazine. I just hate to show that cover image and not tell you who made it. That seems very unfair, because essentially it's also the thumbnail, and I don't have it. I haven't attributed it. Hold on, give me just a second. You're just not going to believe. Have you gotten this issue yet? This is just it's just incredible. It's an incredible issue. I think this is the best issue ever. I can't believe what I'm seeing as I flip through. And I don't want to look too closely because, okay, here we go. Here we go. It's in the body of the thing. So the image that we're seeing, the image that we're seeing here, this is called Joyride. This is 15 by 20. It is number 4 and number 6, hand dyed off the bolt, and as is wool, linen backing. This is by Valerie. I know I always say her name wrong, Begeman or Benjamin, of Rapid City, South Dakota. Honestly, one of my favorite places in the country. I love Rapid City, South Dakota. I love that city. I cannot wait to get back there. So Valerie did this piece called Joyride, adapted from a photograph I took of my granddaughter, Bailey, as she was driving the neighborhood on a cool, crisp fall day. Bailey is now 19, driving her own car. She does not get as good of gas mileage now. It was a challenge to get all the details. Let me get out of the way so you can see this piece. Let me move this piece up a little bit too. Hold on one second. Let me unlock this and move it just a little bit so you can see this better as I'm running my mouth. It was a challenge to get the details on the car to represent the chrome, the definition of the details of the representation of her little feet under the car. Well, I can see that they are shadowy little feet, but you know, they should be shadowy little feet, shouldn't they? They are tiny little feet. It is so colorful. It's much more colorful, you know, because it's sunlight hitting my green screen back here where the image is. It's a very crisp and colorful image that you're going to find in this issue of ATHA. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. Valerie, well done. Valerie's got more. She's got a whole spread. So we'll get to that a little bit later because it's further back in the magazine. Let's hold for 1 second because I started at the back of the magazine, and I just want to say the theme, oh, it's hot in here now. The theme for this issue of ATHA, the fans in the other room, of course, is very pronounced, and it's much more obvious to me that it has been before. Now, hello. Spaghetti-O, I am not always like the most sharp when it comes to picking up on themes and things like that. Even I got this one right out of the gate. I was like, whoa, this is a great theme. So let's talk about themes for ATHA magazine and when the deadlines are. So upcoming themes for ATHA, for starting with the most recent. I'm not going to do all, but the December and January 2025, right? Because they work super far out. Magpie works like 2 months out. ATHA works a year plus out, like a year and a half out. So 2025, December, January is a sports rug theme. The deadline is October 1st, 2024. So coming up really soon. Not really soon, but relatively soon. Next deadline is February 2025, and that will be for the April-May 2025 issue. And that is From the Garden, Fruit, Veggies, and Flowers. And the last one I'll give now, this is the one I'm going to be waiting on. Oh, no, I got to tell you all of these. These are all fantastic themes. The deadline, June 1st, for the 21st century folk art theme. Deadline, October 1st, 2025, for travel rugs. Deadline, February 1st, 2026. We're really out there now. For angel rugs. And then there's more, but we'll stop there because that's, I mean, we are talking really far out now. If you look at the second to last page of ATHA, you have this grid that tells you all of the upcoming themes. So, you know, it's worth also thinking about what you've already made, what you're proud of, and you think, oh, maybe I'll put that aside. Or take a great photo of it first. Take a great photo of it in great light. Make sure it's a big photo. Get it. Why not get it to them early, right? Why not get it to them early so they have time to come back to you and say the photo's a little bit small, or can you do this a little bit differently, right? So that it can be featured and celebrated in the best possible way, because you are showing it as clearly and closely and exactly as you can. So if you give them a little extra time to do that, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Same thing with Magpie magazine. The deadline will be coming up. Judy and I have been saying different deadlines. I am a stickler for what we said in the first place. We said always the 17th for our quarterly magazine, Magpie Times. But Judy felt that she needed a bit of extra time, so she reeled it in. She's wanting me to say deadline August, I think 7th. If you're having issues with the deadline and you are working on something that you love, please write to me directly at magpietimesmagazine@gmail.com. Let me know what's going on, because I am trying to help with the layout so that Judy has less technical stuff to do. I don't want anybody getting tripped up with something that they started because we pulled the rug out and changed the date, right? So just communicate with me. Let me know what's going on if you're stuck with something. But our theme for the upcoming issue is the country fair, and we are getting some great material. I'm still looking for a feature on macrame. Can anybody help on that? I'm really digging macrame. It is a proper old-timey craft, and I really like it in this issue. If you can help with something like that, I would love that. And yeah. So speaking of magazines, back to ATHA. Now, at the beginning of ATHA, we have a message from, I haven't read it yet, but from the president, Sandra Ives, right here on the first page. So let me start by reading this. I have not read it yet, but I'm guessing that she's going to introduce us to the theme of this issue. By the time you receive this issue of ATHA, Art of Rug Hooking, the ATHA 2024 convention in Grapevine will be less than a month away. A big thank you. So this is the one that's coming up in Texas, Grapevine, Texas. A big thank you to the convention committee for their hard work to create this special event for our enjoyment. Hope you made plans to come. Now, I don't know anything about this, and I do not want to start rumors, but I just noticed in the first sentence of the introduction that they are not saying the ATHA Biennial. They are saying the ATHA Convention. What does that mean? Because I don't know. I don't know the answer, but that is different. Is anything different? Are they not, does anybody know, are they not running as a biennial anymore? Because that is a shift in language, and that does make me wonder what's going on. This issue is jam-packed with portrait rugs. One of my perks is seeing the magazine prior to publication. I read it from cover to cover, enjoying all I saw in this magazine. This issue shows the amazing talent of so many of you with your portrait rugs. Some of these were hooked quickly, while others were put away in frustration, but you know how we are. You know how we are. At some point, we all put that frustrating rug out and find we are invigorated to complete it. Oh, how pleased I am that those rugs were finished. I have a photograph of my dad and his brother in a goat cart. That is not funny because Judy did a goat cart on the cover of Magpie. That would make a great rug. Who knows? Maybe I'll challenge myself. Sandra's going to laugh when she sees the cover that Judy Taylor did for Magpie Times because it's a goat cart, right? How funny is that? I'd never heard of a goat cart until Judy did that piece, and now I'm hearing about it twice in 1 month. How funny is that? One of the things that I love about ATHA and ATHA magazine is that the people who work on ATHA magazine, I'm not making comparisons, I'm not throwing stones at all, but it is a huge benefit, I think, when you're putting together a magazine about rug hooking that you are also a rug hooker. I feel like that is a great benefit because Sandra immediately in the first paragraph of this introduction expresses that universal sentiment that resonates with other rug hookers. Sometimes things are so frustrating, you just have to put them down. And she's saying, I'm so glad that you returned to the things that some of you put stuff down because it was just frustrating. I'm glad you returned to those pieces, finish those pieces so that we can all have them here in this magazine as a record of your work for all of time, right? So it is nice. It's a longer introduction, but it is nice to hear the voice of the editor from the point of view of a rug hooker, right? That means a lot to me. It can't always be that way, but I feel it does add a special quality, a kind of a relatable friendliness and camaraderie with ATHA magazine that I really, really love. Now, I'm going to start looking at some of these. Come back over here. Hang on. I'm here with you. Some of these. Oops. Oh, I'm sorry. I had an introduction that I haven't done yet. Let's do this fast. I'm sorry. So this weekend I was with Rebecca. I should have done this earlier. I forgot I had these pictures. Here's Rebecca. This was the morning after the debacle with the airport and the flights. We put on our blue dresses because we were going to Newport, Rhode Island. Poor Rebecca, she's so tired. She's so beautiful, isn't she? She has such an eternal, elegant look. I'm squat and fuzzy. She is so tall and elegant and she's just gorgeous. We walked around town. We visited mansions, the Historical Society. I took lots of pictures of her. She took lots of pictures too, but I posted tons of pictures, mostly with her in them because I was taking them when she wasn't noticing. This one she posed for because she just loves the boats, the water, the nautical life. The temperature was breezy but warm. There was music playing on every pier. We had clam chowder and kale salad with beets at the Black Pearl restaurant. It was just amazing. This was the backyard, the sunken garden part of the Elms, one of the top three of the Newport mansions on Bellevue Avenue in Newport, Rhode Island. This, from a distance, looked like one enormous weeping English beach, but it is actually probably a half dozen trees put together. And you can see by the scale, these are just enormous trees that these barons of industry, the Astors, the Rockefellers, the Belmonts, all of these people, brought these exotic examples of art, right, from the homes and castles of Europe, but also living things like trees and flowers. I'm doing a show, Joss. I'm live, so no. The answer is no for the next 20 minutes. One of the things that we saw that if you are anywhere near in the area, it's on airplane mode, so take it out of here. If you're anywhere near in the area, I forgot. I was so tired at the end of this day too. I forgot about the Great Elephant Migration. And what it is a collection that was brought in, I think, from India of an absolute herd. It's like 100 or more elephants, something like that. I don't know how many. Full size, parents and babies, walking across the backyard of the mansions along the cliff walk. The photo I just showed you was outside Ochre Court, which is one of the original mansions, but it's actually one of the buildings that Salve Regina University has now. So that's Ochre Court. But they tread right behind the breakers as well, and you can see they are just legendary in size. They go on and on and on. There's things you can scan, things you can learn. There's a little pop-up thing where you can get souvenirs for this event. from what I understand, this event closes in Newport at the end of August and moves, I think, to London. So they will be, it might be making a stop in New York first, I'm not sure. But you can check all that on the Great Migration. It is an installation of tons of, you can also buy these elephants at the end of it all. Every one of them looks different. I know that sounds crazy, but they all look different. They're all posed different. There are no two alike. It was absolutely incredible. It was emotional. It was amazing. It was overwhelming to be able to walk and touch. You're allowed to touch, obviously not climb on, although I'm sure there were idiots who did that too. You're allowed to touch them, take photos with them. It is really an amazing thing. You feel so dwarfed in size walking amongst this herd of elephants. So again, that is called the Great Migration. That's in Newport, Rhode Island right now. It is on the move. You can look it up on a website. I was so happy to see that there were so many Indian people who were there looking at it. Like it was a huge number, and I thought this must be extra special. It made me feel so good. There was lots of different kinds of people there, but it was really, really something with a real Indian flavor and just so exotic, so much fun. Now, returning to ATHA magazine, and we are on the same page. We already know that this is an issue about portraits. So you can assume, and you would be right in your assumption, that there is a lot of storytelling happening with this issue. Um, my favorite thing about rug making and art in general is storytelling. Whether I'm listening to a song or hooking a rug or looking at a painting, storytelling. So this issue is more heavy than any ATHA issue I've seen before, by way of storytelling and personal stories and anecdotes. It's absolutely beautiful, the little I've read so far, to read about people's lives and family members. For example, this is ATHA Region Number 6, Barbara Rains, Rains, of Temperance, Missouri. Um, this is the, not guild, I'm sorry, the chapter is called the Black Swamp Rug Hookers. Again, Temperance, Missouri. This piece is called Mom and Dad. And Barbara writes, I hooked this mat from a photo of my parents in 1945 in front of her parents' old farmhouse where she was raised with 4 younger brothers. And yes, she walked 1 mile to and from school in all types of weather. My dad went to a larger school system and rode a bus, but milked cows and did chores before he left for school. He had 11 siblings. They were married in 1945, so I am assuming this photo was taken after they were married. I don't know what year or model of car, but they never had a new car until they were in their 70s. Therefore, it would have been an older model. They were married 53 years. That is absolutely incredible. This is absolutely incredible. It's just a beautiful monochromatic piece. Looks and reads like a black and white photo. It is emotionally charged. It is a moment in time. When you think about 1945, that is also the year that the war ended, that World War II ended. That's a big deal, right? That affected how people were feeling for the good and the bad, right? There was so much loss. There was so much change. I'm sure there was also, I was not obviously there, but I'm sure there was also the sense that you had to get on with life and you were turning corners, right, and blazing new trails. And what a great year to get married and start a new life. What a beautiful, beautiful piece. I love the way it's hooked. I love the way it looks. I love the story behind the piece. So again, this piece is called Mom and Dad, and this is by Barbara Rains. This is on the facing page, and this piece is also from ATHA Region Number 6, also by Barbara Rains of Temperance, Missouri, Black Swamp Rug Hookers, and this piece is called Companions. More color in this piece, and Barbara writes, in 2022, I decided to hook this from a photo of my husband and his trusty companion, Lucky. He was dropped off at our home. Oh my gosh. Lucky was dropped off at their home. We weren't able to find the owner or a good home for him. Bob did not want a dog. Long story short, he remained Bob's devoted companion for over 10 wonderful years. He was no pounds of unique. I've never heard that expression. The photo was taken by our granddaughter Caitlin as Bob was taking a break sitting on a log in front of our woods. Lucky as ever was by his side. Isn't that gorgeous? And don't you love the whole thing? Bob looks so happy. Lucky looks just like the absolute personification of the faithful companion, right? On alert and on guard, but in at his place with his person. Don't you just love the way that the border of this piece looks like bark? It so fits with the woods, their woods, in the woods in the background of this piece. Lots of beautiful directional horizontal hooking in the background. Beautiful um, vertical hooking too with the trees, right? A lot of like, it looks like birchy bark, or maybe I don't know about that state for birch versus aspen, but absolutely beautiful sort of camouflage feel to the ground, to the background. Um, yeah, absolutely beautiful. I love looking at Lucky too. What a sweet, sweet little face. And speaking of sweet faces, this is one of my great buddies, as you know, Colleen Tiefenthal of Northeast. The town is called Northeast, Maryland. That's not a direction, that's the name of the town. Her brand is Beech Nut Studio. She is ATHA region number 3. And her article, this is an article from Colleen. Her article is called Pets Our Family, a portrait of our furry family. I just want to remind you, this article is about an adaptation of a Claire Murray rug, but I just want to remind you that I carry Colleen's patterns on backing. Colleen at Beech Nut Studio in our Etsy store carries her own patterns as paper patterns. I carry her patterns not as paper patterns or transfer patterns, only as patterns on backing. That's a part of the business that she doesn't want to do, so I do that for her. She's a great buddy of mine. We've got a lot of projects that we overlap on together. So take a look at her tab in Ribbon Candy Hooking, and Kirsten's, and all of the buddies who contribute. I'm about to bring in a couple more buddies, but Colleen is definitely one of them. So lots of beautiful patterns there. Now, this is more specific, right, because of the theme. Portraits are the theme of this issue. So this is a portrait, the finished rug, edge not yet whipped in this photo, and Fiona giving her approval. So let me introduce you to this article by reading a little bit of what Colleen wrote. And by the way, in that photo, she was with her friend Kim, who got her started on her rug hooking journey. So Colleen wrote, "This rug has a fun story. I went to Florida and met up with my dear friend Kim M at the last Searsport rug hook-in. Kim is the person that introduced me to rug hooking nearly 10 years ago, and the journey has taken me on is wonderful. I'm sorry, that's me. The people I've met and how rug hooking has become an integral part of my life and art are wonderful. At the hook-ins, there were auction baskets. While I was choosing where to drop my ticket chances, Kim suggested I try for a barely started piece on burlap featuring a black and white cat, since I have a similar cat. I put one ticket on that bag, and to my surprise, I won it. The piece sat in my art room for about a year. I wasn't excited about working on burlap, and the piece featured one cat. I have two. It wouldn't be fair to the other cat not to be included because we are all family. I finally pulled it out and decided to alter the pattern to include both my kitties, the tuxedo cat Fiona and the tortie Trixie. Both are rescue cats. So actually this photo, the tortoise is Trixie. So actually this is Trixie in the photo, right? This must be Trixie. Both are rescue cats, and I have had since they were kittens. And so Colleen goes on to say, I researched the original pattern and discovered it to be a 1995 pattern by Claire Murray titled Country Cat. This also, incidentally, is available as a needlepoint kit and a latch kit, and a rug hooking kit as well. I pulled out, and remember, Claire Murray is offering her kits again. There was a gap of many years that they were not putting out rug patterns or kits. They're putting out rug patterns and yarn again, so just, and their hooks. So just be aware of that. Country Cat. I pulled out most of the bits that had been started so I could change the pattern and used colors that I preferred. The floral border was changed to paw prints, right? So if you know this pattern, it is a classic Claire Marie floral border. Colleen pulled that out and changed the flowers to the cat's paw. Do you see that in the photo? To paw prints. Blah, 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 blah. Hold on, I lost my place. Um, yep. Um, um, Two on the right. Because even though they are no longer with us. Oh, okay. So she said the floral border was changed to paw print flowers. 3 on the left for my 3 previous cats. 2 on the right for my 2 dogs. Because even though they are no longer with us, their memories are always will be. Oh, that is just so sweet. Oh my God. I added Trixie sitting up behind Fiona and added some of their favorite things. The little cat and mouse toys in a bowl full of chow. 2019 was included in their border because that's their gotcha day year. They supervise the whole process, frequently checking it for warmth and comfort because they assume it will be theirs, and it is, and finished it in time for their 2024 gotcha day gift. Isn't that precious? She hooked this piece mostly in number 6 cut wool strips from her stash. So let me show you some more photos that Colleen put into this piece. So these are the 2 cats. I have to say, Trixie, they're both precious. I just love tuxedo cats because it's always funny how their patches fall, how the white falls. They often look crazy. In this case, I think Fiona has a slightly crazier look. She is absolutely Trixie. I'm sorry, Trixie the tortoise. She is like, is this the ultimate Picasso cat? Doesn't it look like there's lips on her nose, the way that her fur is? I mean, it's just too cute. It is just too cute. They are both such little cutie faces. They are just, just hilarious. Beautiful cats. I've seen these cats in person too. When I did the show at, remember last year I went to Colleen's and visited her studio there. We did a show, so I hope you pull that up on the YouTube channel, the Ribbon Candy Hooking channel here, because it was wonderful visiting with Colleen and seeing both her hooked rug projects and her painting projects, her studio space in her house. It was such a lot of fun. Now, when I turned the page, I found one of my other great friends who I absolutely adore and have recently done a show with, Janine Barocious. Sorry, I always screw that up. I think it's Barocious, actually. Green Cove Springs, Florida. Janine, sorry, I always struggle. And this is ATHA Region Number 5, the Crooked River chapter. Absolutely love Janine also. Janine's work, her stories, her storytelling. Both she and Colleen are so forthcoming with their techniques, the way that they work, their secrets, their tricks, everything that they do. And it makes it so much, it paves the way for people who are struggling and people who are new to the craft, paves the way. It literally blazes the trail for people to be able to do some of that quality of work, right? Particularly if you're a beginner. So I was very excited to see an article also by Janine. It's called Butterfly Girl, a Self-Portrait. So this is a portrait that was taken of Janine by Jennifer Mayer. And this is going to be the basis for the piece. So let me go forward just a little bit so you can see, because this is an article that is very heavy with technical information in the most accessible way, even for someone like me who is a complete Bubelschnitz. Even I understand this article, right? It's so clear. Incidentally, this image is captioned "Sketch App Photo created using the actual portrait as a reference." Wow, right? So Janine writes, "Faces are hard, and up to this point, I've hooked only very small faces. I wanted to challenge myself and hook a mat where a face was the main object. This was a bit terrifying, but I do love to try new things. I thought about using a photo of my mom or my grandmother, but if it didn't turn out to look like them, I thought it would be embarrassing. If I hooked a photo of myself, no one would care if it came out badly but me. So I decided to hook using a photo that a friend of mine, Jennifer Mayer, took of me. With her written permission to use the photo as a reference, I got busy. First, I played in my sketchbook, actual sketchbook, and I decided to paint. I decided to paint a face without looking at any reference materials. I had, and remember, Janine is always into her sketchbook, right? This is one of the things on the show that she emphasized. She showed us pages from her sketchbook. She starts at her sketchbook, and we all have different processes, right? So it's really important and helpful to know what other people's are. Maybe yours isn't. Oh, Janine, you're right there. Actually, the sketch was done with paint, not an app. Okay, so I see. Okay, so this was done with paint, like a watercolor sketch. Okay, thank you. Janine, good to see you. So it's always good to know what someone else's process is, because whether you have been doing it your way forever, right, and it works great, it's always nice to shake things up and try doing things in a different way with different materials in a different order and see if you get a different result. Why not try, right? I mean, if it ain't broke, you don't have to fix it. But if you're looking for something new and you have the same kind of spirit as Janine and you like a challenge, you want something in front of you that you can dig into, it's interesting to try. Put that back. The weight is holding my camera. Sorry, I'm speaking to Jocelyn.
Can I have Polynetti's with Charlotte?
I'm not talking about Polynetti's pizza. I'm in the middle of running a show. Exit. I love you. Exit. Janine wrote, first I played in my sketch. It is lunchtime after all. First I played in, yes you can, Jocelyn.
Oh, yay.
Goodness. First I played in my sketchbook, I'm sorry Janine, and decided to paint a face without looking at any reference materials. I had fun surrounding her with flowers and butterflies. I wasn't trying to make it look like me, I just relaxed and had fun painting a girl. And this piece came out great, didn't it? Next I really got brave, so I did this in the wrong order, sorry about that. Next I really got brave and I painted while using my portrait photo as a reference. I was actually quite pleased, as you should be. This is really, really good. When I saw this and I thought this was computer generated, I thought, no way. Maybe I can do something like this, but I can't do something like this. I'm not this good. Creating these paintings in my sketchbook gave me confidence to hook my face. I decided to combine the two and add flowers and butterflies to my hooked portrait since I love nature so much. So I'm not going to read this whole article, but I want to show you a few of the other images. This is a very image-laden article. Lots of images of the process as it goes along, right? So there's a lot. If you have this issue of ATHA, you know what I mean. There's lots of images in here that walk you right through this process. The caption for this photo says Bicasa, and that's B-E, like to be or not to be, B-E, Casa, one word, C-A-S-S-A. Bicasa app was used to create a posterized version of the photo. Well, this is fantastic, right? Because you can see with the breakdown of this is a very graphic layering of the actual photo. You can see the breakdown of the darks and the lights, and where you, if you want to hook in a more realistic style, where in this case this is the direction that Janine's going with this, you really need to know where your lines are. You really need to know where changes happen. It's like a map. If the map is not, and this is the finished product, if the map is not correct, it's going to be very hard to get there, right? If you've got directions and they aren't accurate, you might not make it. That is the truth at the end of the day, isn't it? So it is super exciting having an article like this where I'm just going to flash it for you. There's this much of a layout that walks you through the process, a technical process, right? It starts with something creative. It starts with a sketchbook painting, right, that is just for funsies. And it ends in the finished creative piece, the hooked piece, right, the finished portrait. And what happens in the middle is something more technical. And it's not the way that everybody works. But what a great thing to consider, isn't it? Being able to get some help from the computer. And I remember Janine saying that this is not a super difficult right, Janine? This is not like a completely inaccessible program to approach. Some of them are. Some of them are. But this is again called Bicasa. B-E-C-A-S-S-O. Picasso. Picasso. Like Picasso, get it? So, you know, this is as far as I'm getting in this issue. So we'll look at this again. But I have to say, and there's another page of Janine's article, so there's another spread after that spread. in an issue where everything is very finished rug based, we're seeing lots of photographs and rugs. But this is the Rosetta Stone article in this issue where it says also using a photograph and getting to a finished rug at the end, but this is how you did it, right? So this is a very necessary article and very generous to have in this issue because this issue is for in large part how people got from photographs to finished rugs, and this is the feature article that tells you how technically it can be done. So essentially, it turns this entire issue of ATHA, which is issue number 268, August September 2024. It turns this issue of ATHA really into a book with a how-to section, right? Because you're seeing lots of examples of this process, but then you're being told how it can be done. I'm sure everybody works differently, right? But that was a very technical description, much appreciated. So I'm going to stop there for now. As you know, somebody's looking to go to Paul and Eddie's for pizza, so I'm probably going to have to get out my credit card. Um, I will be with you soon. I'm going to put together the information for the Haunted Rug event for tonight. Start sharing that. Heather, I'll meet you at the studio in a few minutes. I've been at the studio. While I still have the studio in Bethany, it's just so much for me to go back and forth all the time. I'm just getting really drained from all of the nonsense and running around I do. Maybe you can relate to that. So while I still use the studio sometimes, I really like to be at home. And I need the studio for storage because it's like 1,500 square feet or something crazy like that. But there's so much stuff in there I just can't deal with. I'm just can't deal with it. So Heather's been coming to help me sort stuff out. It's mostly in my head, and I need like somebody there. I'm like an infant, right? Who needs somebody there to say like, put that down. Heather's very good at put that down. Put Pick that up, and you need to put that in there because you want to save that. Put this in the unknown pile, right? And because otherwise I just stand there with something like this and I just spin around like this indefinitely, right? Like a dervish, like a slow sloth dervish. And I can't make any decisions on my own. I really need someone to say put it in that container, or I can't function. It's incredible. I'm not good. I'm not good at organizing and going through stuff at all. So Heather, I'll see you there in a little while. And for the rest of you, I will see you on Friday night. Let me check my calendar really quick. I don't think we got anything going on except us. I'm going to see if in the meantime I can go back to Sturbridge and grab Rebecca for something. I'm going to write to her as soon as the show is over. Let's see if we can do that because I really would like to snag her for something live while she's here. Yep, Friday is a go. So on Friday we will run gallery night, and a lot of you have already sent your pieces in. If you need money, get it out of my wallet. If you've already sent pieces in, great. They will be there in the gallery night episode Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't sent pieces and you want to for gallery night, ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com, please write gallery night somewhere, either in the title or in the body, so I can pull it up by the name. Forward it to Shannon, who puts together gallery night, and then I will run that on Friday night with you. If you want me for the Haunted Rug Project, ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com. If you want to submit something for Magpie Times, either this issue, the Country Fair, or you have an idea for the distant future for the next issue, the theme will be Marshmallow World. It'll be a holiday/seasonal issue, all things winter and every winter holiday. For anything to do with Magpie, if you think of it, please write to Magpie Times Magazine at gmail.com. Anita, great to see you. I will see you all on Friday. I'm there if you need me. Have a great week, everybody. And a huge thank you to ATHA for putting out a magazine of this quality. Huge thank you to Janine and to Colleen for the incredible content that we've seen so far. Kathy, great to see you.